Investments in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
Keep your schedule free for this Saturday, 25th May 2024, where we have two power pack webinars coming for you. The first one is on ULIPs. Did you know that an investor loses 20% to 30% of the initial value due to high charges in ULIPs? Are you considering ULIPs as an investment option? Are you worried that the ULIPs might not be the right fit for you? You come at the right place where we have a webinar planned especially for this. This is conducted between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. For the second webinar of the day, we explore the electrifying strategies of the Indian Premier League. The IPL with its smart scouting moves can help to lead your portfolio to your glory. To know more about these webinars, come tune it from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. where we talk a lot more about this. Feel free to join both of these webinars as we talk a lot more about personal finances and what to do and what not to do.
In today's video, we are going to talk about a question that every investor will ask themselves at some point in their wealth creation journey. What could this question be? It's a simple thing that we all think about at some point. It's about judging whether risk is good or is it bad. Some of us believe that risk is good because it is the path to getting us better returns, it's the path to opening up new opportunities, and risk does certain positive things. But for some of us, risk can mean uncertainty, it can mean loss. So both of these meanings apply to the same word, and both of these set of experiences also come from taking risk. But whether we think risk is good or whether we think risk is bad doesn't really matter. Why? Because risk is necessary. There is no way for us to avoid taking risks. In fact, one of the famous quotes in the investment world is that not taking any risk is the greatest risk of them all. Which means that at some point, whether we are comfortable with it or not, we need to learn to take risk. And if we have to learn to live with risk, then the best way is to learn how to manage risk. So how can we better manage risk? The first thing we need to understand is that no investment is inherently good or bad. The same investment can be good at one point in the market cycle and it can be a bad investment at a different point in the market cycle. So let me take a classic case of fixed deposits, right? By and large, most investors would agree that this is a decent or a fairly low risk investment to make at any given point. If you try to make FDs as your core investment in 2020, this would not have been the best or a good decision to make. Your interest rates were low, which meant that your returns from your FDs would have been fairly low, somewhere between 4.5% to 5%, even if you did a slightly longer term FD, right? So your fixed deposit, which is considered to be a more or less safe investment because you get a guaranteed return, you know how it works, and it's with a bank which is a safe institution to save in. This was not a great choice in 2020. Whereas the same decision, if you had to make it today and you try to do a bank FD, you could get around 7%. So it's a much better decision today than it was 3 years ago. This is part of risk management, which is to know that the same tool can actually carry more risk at a particular point in time and less risk at a different point in time, but nonetheless there is risk at both points in time. So the idea of risk management is to be able to judge when the risk that we are taking is actually less compared to what it normally is. In that case, it's always a good time to make that kind of investment. The next thing we need to do is to understand the nature of risk, right? When we are taking investment risk, what tends to happen is we could either be wrong about the direction or we could be wrong about the time. What do I mean by this? When you're wrong about the direction, you might be expecting your investments to go up and give you higher returns, but instead it could go down. When you're wrong about time, you might expect returns to happen in a faster time frame, maybe in 1 month or 3 months or 1 year, but it actually takes 2 or 3 years or even longer for that return to materialize. So the way that we take risk also matters. If we understand these two things, that is the nature of the risk that we're taking and where we are in the cycle, by and large we will learn to manage risk effectively. So this is a framework that we have created for you to use in your wealth creation journey. If you'd like to talk more about risk management and what you can do in understanding your risk appetite, do get in touch with us.